What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I'd like to talk about one catastrophic mistake that every crypto investor should avoid like the plague, especially right now. Okay, this whole cycle, really this whole year of 2025, we've been boring. You could afford to make mistakes. You could put your money in whatever. Everything's moving sideways. Nothing's popping off. There's no right or wrong decision. Everything's just being boring. The wrong decision might be leverage trading, right? But that's not the mistake that I'm talking about. Now we're at the forefront. I think it's very obvious that we're at the forefront of what will be a fantastic altcoin run, an alt season. Okay, and in these phases, people get greedy. They get emotional. They make mistakes. They chase pumps, right? We've been bored. In the crypto markets, we have been so bored, not just this year, but really since 2023. There's been moments of excitement. And then after those moments of excitement, it's met by months of just consolidating and giving back all those prices, all those gains that we've had, or if not all of them, a majority of them. We're not used to euphoria. We're not used to prolonged, exaggerated movements to the upside. But every single crypto market that I've been in, this is my third, that's exactly what happens. There is this growth that persists past reason, past logic, and defies gravity. Look at Zcash and Dash right now. Look at XRP and XLM last year at the same time, right? There are always moves that happen like this, and the way that you catch these moves is not the way that I think most people might initially think. You can't chase, right? And that sounds so obvious, but there's a lot of us out there that when you see coins like this, whenever you're holding whatever crypto you're holding, let's say you're holding like me, you're holding all of these coins here, right? And you're seeing all these, your coins are up 6% today, 2% today, 8%, 10%, whatever. But you look at Zcash and it's up 36%, or Turbo and it's up 21%. You're looking at Filecoin, come on, and it's up 99%, or all these coins that are up 30% or more today. And you're comparing them to your coins, to your bag, and you're saying, It's nice that I'm holding Monero. It's nice that I'm holding Avalanche or Solana, whatever it is. But I could be holding Zcash. I could be holding Filecoin. I could be making so much more money if I was just holding these coins. I'll just trade them. I'll trade it out. I'll swap the one that's being boring right now for the one that's being exciting. You're never going to catch a pump if you do that. The only way to catch a pump properly, maybe there's a couple ways, would be extreme luck, right? Timing, right? Luck and timing can go into it. Or the most common way that everybody here watching can utilize to catch a pump, a magnificent pump, the same kind of pumps that we're seeing with Zcash and Dash, the same kind of pumps that we saw with XRP and XLM last year. The way that you catch these pumps is you wait for them to come to you. You buy your cryptos, you do your research, you find a project that you like, that you believe in, that you believe will see some growth this cycle, and at least perform on average with the average altcoin, and you wait. Everything is going to pump. Right now, there's various cryptos that are pumping more than the majority of the market, but they're not going to continue to pump at that pace. Everything takes its turn. And this is my third bull run. I've seen this happen before, and I've done this. I've made this mistake before where you chase pumps. You chase the coins that are pumping 30% on the day. And then you buy those coins, you swap for the coins that are boring, and then next week, your boring coin is the one that's pumping 30% daily, or 40% daily, or 200% in a week. And the coin that you just traded out for that pumped hard the week before is now consolidating and correcting. What I'm talking about, and this mistake that everybody makes, myself included, in my first cycle at least, and we'll probably make it at some point again. You know, it happens to everybody. I've definitely bought the highs of various cryptos, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mistake that we make is we take our coin, our boring coin, our safe coin that we did all our research on for years, for months, whatever. We watched our YouTube videos, we watched the podcast, we read the white paper, we went onto their x.com pages, followed with the developments, and are aware of the roadmap. We take that coin that we have all this conviction and knowledge of, we sell it for a coin that's pumping, that we don't know anything about. If you do that, if you get shiny object syndrome, what's going to happen is that coin starts to consolidate. You're not sure anymore of your investment. What was a sure thing because it was pumping is now out the window. You don't know anything about this project, or at least not to the extent of the coin that you sold, your safe place. And now, because this coin's going down, you think it's a Ponzi. Why? Because you only bought it because it's pumping. It's not supposed to dump. And then while you're holding that Ponzi that's dropping, it's not a Ponzi. Zcash is not a Ponzi, but you might think it is a Ponzi. While you're holding that coin that's dumping, the coin that's boring that you sold, your Avalanche, your Solana, your Bitcoin Cash, or whatever it might be, it starts to pump. Then it has its turn. What I'm getting at is there's no need to get jealous. There's no need to get greedy when you're holding whatever coin it is, whatever your safe place is. There's no need to get worried that your coin's not going to pump, because they're all going to pump, but they pump in their own time. The prior two alt seasons that I was a part of, whatever coins I was holding, they weren't pumping the most every single week, every single day out of the whole market. There were days, there were weeks where they were consolidating, or they were pulling back, or they were underperforming the market. And then there were days and weeks where they were outperforming the market too. And that's the case for every coin that's going to be probably in like the top 500. It doesn't matter what coin is performing now. Every coin is going to perform. And if you sell your boring coin, your safe place coin that hasn't popped off yet, for a coin that has already popped off, that's a shiny object in the sky, it's effectively the same thing as taking and I like to use this analogy, it's effectively like taking a theater ticket. You have a show that you're going to see, an opera, a play, a movie, whatever. You take your ticket, it starts at 8 p.m. You've got the nighttime show. But you see somebody else coming out in intermission right before you're starting your show. Your show starts, it's 7 o'clock right now. You've got an hour till your show starts. You got there early because of whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe you're just scoping the place out. But you got an hour left until your show starts. You see somebody coming out of their show that started 2 hours ago or an hour before you, and they're coming out for intermission, and they're like, man, this is such a great show. It's so worth the money. I'm glad that I bought this ticket. This is such a great show. And you hear them saying that, and you're like, hey man, look, I have a ticket for a show that hasn't started yet. You say your show's spectacular. You're already halfway through it. Could I trade you my ticket for my show that hasn't started yet? For yours, it's already halfway done. That's effectively what you're doing if you're selling your boring coin for the coin that's in the sky, right? I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but it feels like a safe place, right? It's like it's a little safe circle here. You're safe. Don't sell your safe space, your boring coin, before it breaks out, before it breaks loose, because everything has a show time. They just start at different times. That's the whole purpose of what I'm trying to say. And you're not going to catch the show. You're not going to catch the full show at all if you're chasing intermissions, right? Does that make sense? I've made this mistake before, and it's the worst. People think it's the worst to buy a coin that goes down. That's not true. It's the worst to buy a coin that maybe it goes down, maybe it goes up a little bit, maybe it's being boring, whatever it is, and then you sell that coin for a different coin, and then the coin that you sold actually pumps harder than the second choice that you made, right? Your original thought, your original choice, the thing that you did all your research on, built all your conviction around, your whole plan to execute for this crypto cycle goes out the window because you're chasing pumps. Don't do that. That's what degens do. That's how you get yourself set up for emotional damage. Genuinely. Because I can promise you, whenever you sell your coin that you did research on, that you know everything about, you follow their X page, all that stuff that I was talking about, whenever you sell that coin for a coin that's pumping, you're making an emotional decision. Therefore, whenever it dumps, are you going to be emotional? Probably. Might you make an emotional decision there? Probably. And you might make the wrong decision and again sell the coin that was pumping while it's at a low point, while it consolidates. Sell that coin now for another coin that's pumping to try to make your money back so that you can put it in your original project before it actually takes off and everything's hunky-dory. If that's you, if I'm talking to you right now and you're in that position, my best advice, and it's not financial advice, but this is just based off of my experience, is to just stop. Just stop doing it. Just buy the cryptos that you believe in. Don't worry about the other coins that are pumping. If they're pumping and you're not a part of it, but you could have been a part of it, oh, you could have if you just pulled the trigger. What you do is you say, bravo, good job. I'm happy for the people who invested in Zcash or Dash or whatever coin of the day is pumping. Okay? They're all going to take their turns. They all will. And every alt season I've seen, we get these chosen few that pump. It's like the early signs. Last cycle, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin were pumping fantastic. They were pumping way harder than anything else before alt season really kicked off. And I'm sure I'm missing some coins, probably Dot, Avalanche, Solana. There were some coins in that chosen few that were pumping before the rest of the market. But then what happens after those chosen few correct or they start to consolidate, then the rest of the market pumps up. Because that's how it works in this game. Money doesn't stay stagnant. It doesn't just stay in the same project. It moves from place to place to place. People take profits at highs and then they buy the lows. So really, if you're out there right now, whoever you are, hit the like button, subscribe if you're watching this video. If you're out there looking for projects to invest in, don't go and do this. Don't go to CoinMarketCap and look at what coins are at the top today. it's probably better to look at the coins that are at the bottom today, right? These are probably better investments, and maybe not Trump, no offense to DT there, but go on your top 200, top 300, whatever. The coins that are down this week, I bet next week will be up. The coins that are up this week, I bet will be down next week, right? They all take their turns, right? Here, Ethereum, or sorry, we go, let's see, where's the 7-day? The 7-day, over the last 7 days, Dash, Zcash, Filecoin, ICP, ZK, FET, they're all up. These are the top dogs. Next week, it's going to be a different set. The following week, it's going to be a different set, and then we recycle, and then we repeat. That's just how it happens. Instead of doing this, do this. And I would bet all these ones, I bet Solana has a great week. Maybe not next week, but soon enough. Tensor, Tau probably does as well. Pudgy Penguins, SPX, right? Like these coins, Ethereum, it's probably going to be their week next week. And it's the same thing. We're on the top 100 now. For a lot of people, that's good. That's within their risk profile. It's the top 100. I like to look at the top 500. I like to go to the top 200. And that doesn't mean that you should. That doesn't mean that that's what you should do. But, even the same thing here. You look at the past 24 hours or the past week, what's down the most, right? If it's a coin that you've never heard of before, like, I don't know, Bugs Coin, maybe do some research if you want to buy it. But really, if it's a coin you've never heard of, maybe stay away from it, right? Destra Network, Edina, Recall, these are coins that I've heard of, right? And they're down this week. They might be good investments to make, right? 7-day percentage here. These coins are up. Dusk. These ones could be good investments as well. But if they're up the most this week, next week they're likely not going to. This list will transition, right? That's all I'm trying to say. The worst thing that you can do, it's all revolving back to the main point. The worst thing you can do is what just happened? Hello, we still there? All right, it's glitching out. The worst thing that you can do is chase pumps instead of chasing coins that have yet to pump. Get a ticket for a show that hasn't started yet. Don't get a ticket for a show that's already at its halfway point, that's in intermission right now. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. The real moral of this story is not necessarily, man, my camera really is glitching. It's not, I think if I put it on a smaller camera, yeah, it seems to be better for whatever reason. The real moral of this story is not to buy coins that are boring and don't chase pumps. That is part of it. But the real moral is to trust in the process. Trust the process. You did your research. You bought whatever coins that you've bought your bag for a reason, okay? As long as these projects are still building and they haven't rug pulled or run away, the devs aren't on a different project, as long as they're still building, you've got a good project. If you have a project that hasn't updated in a few weeks or a few months, maybe move on. Maybe. I'm not telling you what to do. The thought here is really trust the process. Hold your coins. Wait for your turn. Everybody will have a turn. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. I don't know why my camera's glitching out. Take care. Bye-bye.